Well, the story of the current version that ended up being edited together from all this various bits of footage is about someone who sells their soul to the devil, and the devil comes for his soul by sending zombies and ghouls after him. And that's it.
I suppose that's it, really, isn't it? Summer Holiday. It's a film that I've not seen in about 10 years, I don't believe. And it is in its own way an unforgettable experience, although very little of the content remains for me.
Summer Holiday. It's basically goat's testicles.
Summer Holiday started out as 3 short films linked by a linking story called There's a Ghoul in My Soup. But unfortunately the cast were unavailable for the last period of shooting, so it ended up being 3 films all joined together as one, which is why the same cast members reappear in different roles later on.
I'd probably say that I was the first person to introduce the world to Summer Holiday. This was probably also about the same time as I started drinking quite heavily.
Summer Holiday, I've watched snippets of it, and I wouldn't say it's exactly, well, horror in general isn't exactly my thing.
There are a number of vivid images which I still remember. For instance, the pillowcase maniac, the deadly butter knife, and the great tome of spells, which turns out to be a rather tattered exercise book.
The cast were all friends of mine from college and school, and unfortunately they couldn't act very well. They couldn't even act like zombies most of the time, so I had to put them on a special zombie training course.
Summer Holiday represented the new wave of British horror that never materialised in the 1980s. After the failure of Hammer Horror and all the other companies that failed, the demise of the British film industry, a small group of amateurs carried the flag for Britain in the decade that was marked by Margaret Thatcher's desolation of the British landscape. And Summer Holiday encapsulated all of that in a simple package. It shows man's basic fear of mortality, his fear of being ripped apart in a bloody fashion by corpses emerging out of the ground and dying.
Probably one of the best zombies was Phil the Imbecile, who's the zombie who eats his own guts with great gusto and seems to be actually enjoying it. One of the other zombies, the bloke who gets his eye torn out and then his throat ripped open, he was supposed to be one of the main characters, but he didn't turn up for filming on the main day when a lot of it was shot, so his part had to be rewritten on the fly, and basically it was rewritten so that his character was killed. Bezic was the zombie who gets his hand chopped off and then wanders around looking quite effective as a zombie, really. I forget the name of the unenthusiastic gut-eating zombie, but I can remember that he claimed to be allergic to the false blood. And he also turned up for the second day shooting wearing totally different clothes to the first day, and I had to send him back home to change.
Well, when Martin was making the film, Martin's mum constantly complained about the mess in the house, especially the blood that was made and the latex bits that were stuck on people. I think he had to produce those from like making a mould or something like that. I think that made a bit of mess, and I'm sure Martin filming in the house and trudging through the house made loads of mess, and his mum was very house proud. She couldn't come over saying this.
The bulk of it was shot in over a weekend, over 2 days, when my parents were away. When they came back, there was false blood everywhere, latex ground into the carpet, mud everywhere, and the remnants of a burnt zombie in the back garden.
The one thing I can say about Martin is he's been compared to the likes of Ridley Scott, James Cameron. The quality of his work is dreadful by comparison.
My influences were Italian directors like Lucio Fulci and Mario Bava, American directors George Romero and Sam Raimi, who made The Evil Dead.
His Lancashire accent on the film and his friends. He says he hasn't got a Lancashire accent, and he hasn't now, but I think he did a bit then.
The film was shot on Super 8, edited using a second-hand splicer and splicing tape from a camera shop, and after it was all edited together it was sent off and transferred to videotape.
Lack of script, lack of acting, lack of decent offensive weapons, lack of special effects, lack of direction.
Appalling, tedious, downright silly.
All in all, it's an experience which adds to your life in some subtle way. I would recommend it.